What? I'm cut off? I have to leave? Why? I'm not even drunk yet. I've only had like a couple of drinks. I'm not even tipsy. I don't understand why I have to leave. I haven't paid my tab? What? I don't... Well, is there any way you could extend the tab? I'm making this uncomfortable? There's someone standing behind me? I have an audience waiting for me to continue the video, and instead I'm sitting here embarrassing myself in front of everyone? You're trying to speak quietly, but I'm repeating everything you're saying loudly and making this awkward? I should leave? Alright, well, oh, hey guys. I didn't see you there. Hey, YouTube audience, I guess that's what, Moonlord was talking about. That was just, my card was working earlier. I just bought donuts with this card. That was just a card issue. I've just been, actually it didn't work earlier. I've been having card issues. I haven't paid my tag because I have, card issues and whatnot. Anyways, how you guys doing, YouTube audience? Since the last time I made a recording where I was breeding Xenolord eggs, I did not have a Xenolord with 4 passives yet, and now I have multiple Xenolords with 4 diamond passives, so I've got them breeding. This guy should have 4 diamond passives, and well, that's a gal. That gal should have 4 diamond passes. This guy has 4 diamond passes. This is a much easier way to check the passives of the pals breeding, but yeah, I finally got a couple Xenolords with the 4 diamond passives that I wanted. So now I'm just going through the strenuous process of, oh how funny, that was a nice good look through it. Now I'm just going through the strenuous process of waiting for one of these to hit on an alpha. So I want an alpha, and I want an alpha with 4 diamond passes. Otherwise, I'm not riding it around, you know. I'm not gonna be throwing out a Xenolord if it's not an alpha, you know what I'm saying? All of my party pals are alpha, and that's just something I've always really liked about pals, is having alpha pals. This guy's not normally in my party, but even he's an alpha. Funny enough. Oh man, well, one of them hit for 4 diamond passes, but it wasn't on the alpha. How unfortunate. You just gotta keep trying over and over and over and hoping that it'll hit eventually. Ah, look, there's an alpha in this box and a 4 diamond passive in this box, but they weren't the same pal. Getting close, I'm getting close. Ah, look, a 4 diamond passive and an alpha in this box. We're getting close, we're getting close. I finally got 2 pals with 4 diamond passes breeding, which makes a lot more pals come out with the 4 diamond passes that I want. These are Cthulhu. I just want alphas to get more of the masks, and even if you don't get the mask, you get like 20 to 30 hallowed bars for a alpha Cthulhu rather than the 2 to 4 you get for regular Eye of Cthulhu. But anyways, when I have 2 Xenolords in there that both have 4 diamond passes, they make a bunch of Xenolords with 4 diamond passes as well, because, I mean, when both parents have 4 diamond passes, it makes it a lot more likely that they're going to pass on those passes to the kid. But the problem is, one of those 4 passes is not philanthropist, so you don't get the 100% breeding boost. So it can be a little bit more difficult time-wise, because, you know, they breed 100% slower if they don't have philanthropist each. So that's 200%. You can have 100% each. So if both pals that are breeding have philanthropist, it just goes by so much quicker. But situations, oh how weird, I forgot to put this away. I don't know why I'm trying to put Paldium away. I didn't pick any up. Anyways, situations like this. What was I saying about situations like this? I don't know. I genuinely forgot. I do that a lot in videos. It's kind of hard trying to multitask sometimes. Especially during a video, you know, you're trying to... Why have they not been transporting his goods lately? But yeah, it's a little bit difficult to multitask and commentate at the same time. I always say if it's important, you'll remember. It'll come back to you. I say that every time I forget something. Are these at 1249 yet? Nice. I can make a maximum batch. And how much will be left? A good amount. Not a ton, but a good amount. Oh, wait. Those are going to get transported. I actually don't want that. Hold on. Oh, Lord. Hold on. I just made such a large mistake. Oh, no. This is so embarrassing. Alright, you know what? You know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna drop everything and let the salines come pick it up, honestly. I was gonna pick up the mess that I just made. Can the salines reach it? Like, I'm worried they can't reach it, you know? Alright. Honey. Flour. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop it all, I guess, and have the salines come pick it up. Alright, well, this wasn't supposed to be in the video. It was just supposed to be some normal tasks as I... Oh, man, and they're not falling. They're getting stuck on... And I'm getting... What am I standing on? Oh, Lord, this has just become one giant mess, but I can't restart the video because I already did that skit at the beginning. Oh, man, I'm trapped. Can I grab? And I can't even grab those. This is insane. Can I fit in between the two? You can't. Wow, this is nuts. Alright, I guess I have to pick them up and just walk straight off and then drop them. Okay. Actually, hold on. They're not picking up this milk. So if I just pick up this milk and this stone, the whole reason, I'm sure some people are like, wait, what is this guy doing? Why did he go through all that extra effort? I just don't like pals to transport the cake because then they transport it to the fridge, and that is not where I want my cake. I want it in my breeding farms, and I'm kind of particular about how I put it in the breeding farms. I like to split the 1249 in half so that each farm has an equal amount. Okay, well, I finally got that dealt with 5 minutes later. Each farm will have an equal amount of cake in it so that one breeding farm, you know, isn't paused, not breeding, and I'm wondering, hey, why isn't this breeding farm breeding? And lo and behold, it's out of cake, you know. That would be frustrating. I've had that happen before, so to mitigate that issue, that's what I've tried to do to fix it. Again, I'll probably use some timestamps because if I hadn't already said so in this video, I'm going to Terraria. Not because I got kicked out of the bar and I can't be here, nothing embarrassing like that, but because I've been getting some cool stuff from Terraria lately. I've got this Eye of Cthulhu mask, which is, in my opinion, pretty cool. A lot of rounding errors, it seems. And then I've also gotten some Hallowed bars, some armor that I think is really cool. The armor I'm wearing right now is from the Realm of Terraria Dungeon. So, lots of, are you fishing? Yeah, the timer's actually decreasing. Lots of cool stuff at the Terraria Dungeon. And then, of course, I've just been talking all about Moonlord on this channel the last couple recordings I've done because, I mean, it's just such a great farm for life, power, and stout fruits. I did not have access to those fruits so easily before, and it just feels like I said, it is just so easy to get that loot. So first things first, let's activate the supply drop or the meteor descent. Geez, a whole 8 to 10 minutes just to get to the dungeon, huh? That's okay, because the dungeon, yeah, see, I want the supply drop over here, because this is just anecdotal, so what I've noticed from my own experience, I'm not entirely sure if this is correct, okay, but the higher level area, you drop the higher level of an area that the supply drop drops in, the better loot it has. So I noticed when the supply drop drops over here, has pretty low level loot, and when it drops over in Sakurajima, it has pretty high level loot. When it drops over in the mountains over here, pretty decent loot, pretty bad loot over here, pretty bad, pretty decent, I guess, loot over here, and the best loot I've noticed has been in this area. So if anyone was ever wondering, that is why I always summon the supply drop to this area. Hurry up and meteor rain these guys and hope the berserker doesn't knock me off. Oh nice, we stunned him so he won't be able to. So normally just the best loot drop comes from there, but without further ado, let's go straight to Terraria. So for anyone who didn't know, sealed realm of Terraria, just off the coast of this island right here, the Fire Island with, is that Axel and Orsurg? Yeah. Fire Island with Axel and Orsurg, and then this little island right here, right off the coast of the first sanctuary? Little sealed realm of Terraria over here. Apparently, I've never played Terraria, so I don't know what it is or how it works. I've obviously seen characters throughout the course of my life and content for Terraria, and obviously they've had a collab with Palworld, so I know what some of their content is, but I've never played the game, I've never downloaded it, but apparently they did a collab with Palworld, and this is what came out of it. A bunch of new pals and a bunch of new equipment. So weapons like the Vortex Beater, which I guess I'll use this entire dungeon to make it authentic. This little knight, this is probably the Knight of Terraria. This is probably what you're supposed to look like, but I kind of like the eyeball more. So here it is. It says boss level 45, question mark, question mark, question mark. We don't know who the boss is. And apparently the dungeon expires in an hour, so it won't be accessible in an hour. So once you defeat the boss, it'll be gone for an hour. You can't defeat the boss again for another hour. So I don't know why Duma guilds are here. I don't know what that has to do with anything from Terraria, but apparently these little guys are characters from Terraria. And pretty much anything in this dungeon, if you can, see Eyes of Cthulhu. I'm wearing one of those because I defeated the boss Cthulhu, so I'm wearing a little mask. But pretty much any POW in this dungeon that's a Realm of Terraria POW, I would recommend catching it, because as you can see on the middle left side of my screen, above that worker Jelroy, now gone, every time you catch one of these POWs, they give you Hallowed bars. And again, you have to use the Hallowed bars to craft things like the, I'm not actually wearing it, but I am appearing in it, the Terraria armor and the Terraria weapons. You need Hallowed bars to craft them. So you normally want to catch these guys because they drop Hallowed bars when you catch them, and then better than that, you can disassemble them so that you get a second chance at more Hallowed bars. So me personally, I'm a pretty big fan of catching these guys, and depending on what level you are and what rarity of loot you have, I mean, as you guys can see, these guys are doing like 0 damage to me. They're not something to be worried about, you know. So I'm just, oh nice, and some Dazier in here. I need those for the Dazi cloud for making elixirs. But I would recommend catching them so that you can disassemble them to be able, oh, worker sailing too, since he's struggling with their task. Sorry to get distracted, but I haven't seen a worker struggle in a really long time. Alright, so luckily I've done this dungeon a bunch of times. Alright, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me finish that one thought. You just want to catch as many of the Terraria POWs as you can, and then, is he alive? I think he is, yeah. And then disassemble them so that if you get any schematics, oh, she's just producing gold, that's why she's stressed. So if you get any of the schematics, you can produce them very comfortably with the Hallowed bars. You get this many from catching all of the Terraria POWs, and then if you disassemble them, you get even more. So in my opinion, it's worth it to try to get as many Hallowed bars as possible, because you can also do Moonlord raids for anyone who knows what that boss is. But I've just explained that in a recent recording I've done, so I'm gonna save that for anyone who wants to watch that video. But if you can't tell, these 3 panels on the floor are a little bit different, and they activate traps. So if you're walking towards these chests, just be careful. But oh, look at that! I just got a blue Hallowed plate mail. I don't think the gold plate mail will ever be better than the armor I'm wearing right now. And I probably should wear my regular Hexalite armor instead of my lightweight. No, I'm crazy. I love the improved carrying capacity. But, you know, I'm just excited to get legendary schematics, even though I'm probably never going to actually wear it because it costs Hallowed bars to repair. And the only place you can get Hallowed bars is by breeding Terraria POWs or raiding the dungeon. So, let's see. Getting a little bit lost here, but there's 3 rooms, and 2 of them have chests in them that you want to raid, and one of the 3 pathways go deeper into the dungeon. So first things first, okay, so I went to the other room, nice, because the first one was that room over there with a little bit of decorations in that little wooden area, because the dungeon is going to be the same every time. So this is a walkthrough that you're going to want to pay attention to and memorize if you wanted to use it as a tutorial. But that room has that little wooden room every single time with those 2 chests. And this room has a chest and okay, I don't know why those 3 guys are together. A chest at the end on both sides of this room. And then the 3rd room I was talking about continues deeper into the dungeon. Nice. Hallowed plate mail is my favorite schematic. So I'm pretty, alright, 82% send off, no worries. So I'm pretty happy to be getting even more of those schematics, even though I already have one of every schematic, so it doesn't really matter. and I kind of only want the legendary schematics. You only need, excuse me, the legendary schematics of the weapons, because like I was talking about earlier, it's not like you're actually going to wear the armor, you know. You're always going to be wearing the strongest armor possible while presenting something else on your body, you know, so it's not like I actually need level 4. But the gun, you're actually shooting it, you know, so for weapons, I definitely want the highest level. Alright, so I think that's straight and that's right, and I think left was deeper into the dungeon, right? Yes, I think the path with the flowers is normally deeper into the dungeon. So we raided the one room with that little, almost like ship-looking thing. It's like a wooden ship. And then we raided that second room that goes into 2 smaller rooms and has the chests in it. And then now we're going to raid this third room that goes deeper into the dungeon. Ah, Demon, I escaped. You died for that, pal. You lose your life for that. You don't just get to escape and live. What were you thinking? So, just gonna catch all these guys because I'm doing a playthrough, a little tutorial. Herbal, not allowed to live. And I just want to showcase this realm of Terraria weapon. It's pretty cool. So over here we have two little tunnels, so to speak. So we just entered from here. We're gonna have one on the right and one on the left. And again, one of them is going to be a little room that has a chest in it, and then another one is going to be something with a wooden structure, and that's going to, okay, so this is the wooden structure that leads deeper into the dungeon, so you don't want to go there just yet. You want to raid the other room and get the chest first. And the reason why you want the chest is for a chance at the schematics, whether you're trying to get a legendary weapon from this dungeon, from Terraria, if you're a huge Terraria fan, or if you've just seen that the weapons can be pretty strong and you want the weapons, or if you even if you're just looking for any of the armor schematics. Oh, that's from the supply drop. So if you're looking for the Hallowed Knight helmet, the Hallowed Knight mask, the Hallowed Knight headgear, there's a bunch of different things, a bunch of different schematics that I'll show off too before the end of the video, because like I said, I believe I have all the schematics. So this is just going to lead super deep into a room. This is where the Zazie went, because wow, that was a really, really high level, high percentage fend off. Anyways, see, so Excalibur, you can just get a bunch of different schematics if you just keep going into the dungeon and collecting all the chests. And for anyone who's better at raiding this dungeon than me and knows of some chests I missed, please let me know. I want to get as many chests as I can every time. I like to maximize the dungeon. Also, you can destroy these little red vases I forgot to mention with your weapon, or if you just roll through them. And some of them have hallowed bars in them, and some of them have like health to restore your health, but I'm not missing any health. So there you go. That one has 7 hallowed bars, which is actually a lot, quite a bit more than you get from catching pals. But anyways, let's start moving into the final part of the dungeon. That was where we entered. Behind us is where the chest was. Oh wow, a lot of green slimes respawn. I need to be a little bit careful though with my spears, because I still want to catch the Eye of Cthulhu boss at the end, because he's worth the most hallowed bars. So I want to save a couple just for the end. I'm already down at 87 because I didn't really reload. There's another color slime. I believe there's red slime, blue slime, green slime, purple slime, rainbow slime, and a luminous slime, but I'm not entirely sure. So again, there's that pad on the floor, and if you walk over it, it's going to fire. I wish you could do that in your base. That seems like a cool mechanic to have in the base, but no chest up here. I don't think there's any chests over here, but just some cool decorations. I'm kind of speed running it because this is more of a tutorial than a showcase, so I should probably slow down a little bit and just show you guys a little bit more of the scenery, because it's really pretty. They did a great job with this dungeon, and I definitely hope there's more things like this to come with future collaborations. So, little fishing stand. The water is beautiful. I love the rocks in the water. I love that the nets look like they're holding up the rocks almost. I love that there's stalactites falling from the ceiling. I love that there's multiple entranceways. You could go 1, 2, or 3, even though they kind of all lead to the same area. So, just a beautiful dungeon. They did really good. Did a great job. Great collaboration here. Alright. Purple slimes are losing their marbles a little bit. I'm gonna catch them anyways. I will showcase this back room, but I don't... Chores, I'm gonna catch them to see if I can... Ayo, pause. Keep their flesh. Yep, you heard me. It is edible in this game, so I'm not that bad of a person, you know? I don't know if there is a chest in here. I've gone in this room several times, and I'm just like, what is the purpose of this room? I'm not entirely sure what... Oh yeah, by the way, there's cave bat, I believe that's called, and then illuminant cave bats as well. So, again, I'm not familiar with all the Terraria pals, and again, I'm getting sidetracked on a tangent, but... So I've been to this room several times, and I wonder, is there supposed to be a secret room? Are you supposed to be able to farm this? Can you pick this up? The water, something to do with the water, you know? So I think this room is useless, is what I was trying to say, and I skip this room just about every time. So, again, this is one of those things where I'm like, if you guys know any better than me, please let me know. So, this is a showcase, and I just want to showcase the dungeon a little bit, and its artwork, and things like that, and every single crevice of the dungeon. So, I'll do the room for the showcase, but disclaimer, normally I completely skip this room. I don't think I've ever found loot in there. I could be wrong, but I just don't think I find loot in that room. So, then you just continue on this way. It looks very beautiful in here, very mysterious. How much inventory space do I have? I really should be picking up some of these mysterious mushrooms. Is that raw doomhead? I think that was raw doomhead, that's why it's gone so quickly. I don't know why this many tombats are in here, because I don't have 3 times pal spawn on. So this is a little bit interesting. I've never seen this many tombats pull up at the same time. But I knew I didn't have 12 tombats captured, so I went for it. Caught me a couple of tombats. Anyways, you follow the dungeon straight through. It's just, again, just beautiful in here. I think they did a really good job with the artwork. I wish you could maybe destroy some of the mushrooms and get a new resource from it, but that's okay, like a Terraria resource. But again, you already got so many items from this update that, you know, getting another rock or another crystal would kind of be a little bit much. I don't know if this was an update or just a collaboration, but so you drop down from the ceiling, you drop down to the floor, down to this lower level. This signifies you're going the correct way. And then there's only one exit. You can run around this room 100 times, and there's only one exit. This is the rainbow slime I was talking about. So I'm going to catch a few of these guys, because why not? And then over here, there's nothing else right other than a wall. So we're going to go left. These are the illuminant bats, cave bats I was talking about. Illuminant bats. Catch one of them, because why not? And then, I kid you not, guys, I'm honestly pretty embarrassed, but the first time I ever... Man, I feel like such an idiot. The first couple times I ever came to this dungeon, I literally left. I came to this area, I got this far, I should have waited a little bit, I should have built it up a little more. I walked around this room a couple times, and I was like, yeah, there's literally nowhere else to go. I can't go any farther, alright. And I literally left like 2 or 3 times, and then finally, I don't know if I was like shooting a guided missile and it tried to hit a pal behind the wall and broke the wall, and I was shocked that the wall could break, and then or maybe it just hit me that I'm like, I've never seen a golden wall before. Why would there be a golden wall? But eventually it finally hit me, and I finally realized you shoot the golden walls, or I'm sure you could hit them with a pickaxe, or what, I mean, you know, a spear or an axe, but when you shoot the walls, they drop hallowed bars and they break. And I didn't know that for the longest time. So I ran this dungeon like 2 or 3 times, not even being able to find the boss. So I'm a little bit embarrassed to share that, to be 100% honest, but make sure you shoot out all of the golden walls and follow them, because there's a chest in almost every single room, and every once in a while they're a dud like that. Just ammo, gold coins, and hallowed bars. Sorry, bars. My voice is cooked because now I've been recording for over 20 minutes. But yeah, sometimes the chests are a dud, but most every time they'll have a schematic in there. So not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time they do have some form of Terraria schematic in those chests hidden behind those golden walls. So you do need to destroy the walls to go further into the dungeon. Do I have 12 of you? I don't think it matters. I want the tentacle if I can. Come here, guys. So definitely destroy the walls to go deeper into the dungeon, but my personal recommendation would be to destroy all of the walls and follow the rest of the cave along to make sure that you're getting as many treasure chests as possible, because again, if you want your schematics, you gotta hit as many treasure chests as possible. And I'm pretty sure the drop rates on legendary Terraria weapons are pretty abysmal. I'm pretty sure they're pretty low. Most every single time. Every single time other than one, actually. This is the only gold schematic I've ever gotten from this dungeon, ever, and it was actually the chest after I beat the boss. These swords are pretty cool. I'm definitely going to catch a couple of these swords. Apparently, I've read from the comments of some Palworld videos about the Terraria dungeon. Apparently, these guys are absolute menaces in the game, tied to Terraria, so that's hilarious to me. Just more rainbow slime. I think maybe there's no illuminant slime, maybe only rainbow slime, but I would hit every single room that's blocked by a wall if you can, because it just gives you a higher chance at getting a golden weapon, a legendary weapon, because those will do more damage. So look, that golden wall over there is how to proceed further into the dungeon, but over here, there's another golden wall, 2 sets of golden walls, excuse me. And if you destroy them, look, chest. And obviously, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that part of the ground is raised. And you're like, well, why is part of the ground raised? If you look up, there's a boulder. So if you activate this part of the ground, a big old boulder drops and it'll hurt you a little bit, but I've got pretty high level armor, so it doesn't really affect me very much. So again, another dud of a chest, no schematic, but it doesn't need to be a schematic every time. It's nice just to get hallowed bars. That's the main point of running this dungeon. I guess if you really wanted hallowed bars, it would probably be smarter to breed Terraria pals and then disassemble them, because like I've talked about a couple times now, I actually need to catch this item. Why is she over there? If you breed Terraria pals, well, she actually looks really cool in this little corner behind this rock. I was gonna say, is that the only blue rock? And I was like, no, there's other blue rocks. But if you catch Terraria pals and then breed them and then disassemble them, you also get hallowed bars that way. But that can take a while, and it's passive. You have to keep checking your eggs over and over, and you have to make cake, and it can just be a little bit difficult and a little bit tiresome, a little bit tedious and a little bit passive. And if you want a slightly more active way of farming out the hallowed bars, we'll see how many hallowed bars I get by the end of this run, and we'll see if it's worth it or not. I'm sure it's much more efficient time-wise to do the breeding, because the dungeon gets a timer on it eventually. You know, when you beat the boss, I think the dungeon closes, or maybe just if you interact with the boss. Actually, maybe you could farm the dungeon over and over and over again. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's most efficient to farm the hallowed bars through breeding, but I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Alright guys, I probably should have been doing a little bit more explaining, but once you drop down into the water, that's pretty much the last leg of the dungeon in my eyes. And then you go through all the golden walls and this rocky purple and blue area, this beautiful crystally area. And once you go through all the golden walls, you kind of get to this castle-y dungeon looking area, and that's where you go into the final boss fight. So let's check it out. Really quickly, before we start the boss fight, I said I was going to use this weapon because it's a Terraria weapon, and then I never really gave a rundown of it. So I had no idea what this weapon was until I got it, so I should probably explain it to other people. It says a powerful gun, Tides of Terraria, in parentheses by the way, or brackets. A powerful gun fueled by unknown energy. Fires homing missiles at regular intervals that track enemies and explode on impact. Has a 66% chance to not consume ammo when firing. So, I didn't realize it first. I'm literally just now seeing this, but if you look under the description, it literally says ammo, assault rifle. So it's not fueled by an unknown energy, it's assault rifle. But several times, oh, I'm pressing the wrong key, excuse me. Several times I went like this and then checked my ammos, and I slowly learned that it was depleting assault rifle ammo. So funny enough, just now, until just now, I did not realize that it literally tells you, it says it right there, that it takes assault rifle ammo. This is kind of what I'm talking about with errors piling up if you don't reset the server, because I feel like there's just a lot of silly errors that are happening because I haven't reset the server in a little bit. I don't know why Cthulhu was that close, but no worries. You just shoot him a couple times and you catch him, and you have a chance of getting the Eye of Cthulhu mask, or like I said, 20 to 30 hallowed bars. So no mask this time around. Might be able to get it from disassembling it, but the 30 hallowed bars is nice. And now I don't want to use this anymore because it costs hallowed bars to repair, which can be quite pricey, as you guys see. So I think right here, this chest was the only time I've ever gotten a gold schematic from this dungeon, and it was a vortex beater in gold. So let's see what we get. Oh, and I forgot to mention, nice. I think 25 bars and a celestial sigil schematic is guaranteed. I'm pretty sure every single time I've ever opened one of these chests after the boss, you get those two things. But I might be wrong about the hallowed bars. The celestial sigil schematic is guaranteed every single time. Every single time I've opened one of these chests after the boss, I get a celestial sigil schematic, but I'm not entirely sure about the hallowed bars. Okay, so that time I got 35. So I think you get bars every time and the schematic every time, but sometimes you get other schematics instead of bars, I think. I could be wrong, but here we go, guys. From here to here is what we got for that little Sealed Realm of Terraria run. So this is the collab that Tides of Terraria did with Palworld. I'm not, acting like it's new or I'm releasing groundbreaking footage here, but I don't watch a ton of Palworld on YouTube, so when I found this was new to me, and I was like, oh, okay, so the alpha symbol is no longer glowing red. I think that means there's a boss there, and when it's not glowing red, there's not a boss there. Alright. I think I know that now. Goombas are always really disrespectful to me, so it's on site, I'm not gonna lie. But I think I'm just noticing more things and paying attention as a Palworld gamer, so just stuff like that. I think that makes sense. I could go back and check it and see what happens in 1 minute and 30 seconds when the dungeon expires. Does that just mean I can't access it for a while? Or does that mean the boss is going to respawn in 1 minute and 30 seconds? I don't know. I definitely like to check after I show you guys the schematics I was talking about. And then also really quickly, I wanted to show y'all one more thing. Go up here and put these accessories away. Oh dang, am I full? I'm full in that hexalite chest. That's crazy. It takes a long time to fill up a hexalite chest. Guess that's just a lot of accessories over time, huh? Alright, and then let's put that Gelroy flesh away. Really quickly, I'm going to show you guys first what I was talking about with the breeding the Terraria pals. Let me take a sip of both. What also came with the... There you go. So look, here are 2 eyes of Cthulhu I caught, because I'm specifically trying to get Alpha Cthulhu to get a mask of... Well, I have 2 masks now, as you can see. I'm literally wearing one. But at first I did not have an Eye of Cthulhu mask, so I was breeding for that. I was trying to get alphas, and now I'm trying to get alphas because they drop more hallowed bars, and I'm trying to get as many hallowed bars as I can to do as many Moonlord runs as I can. That way I have a chance of him dropping off the mask. And it just gives you 3 life fruits every time, which is extremely helpful. So that's what I was talking about. I got a male and a female Eye of Cthulhu, and I put Philanthropist on them both. So now they're breeding at 200% speed, and then I would like to show you guys what I mean by disassembling them for hallowed bars. So that's what I meant by breeding them. You guys saw them both on a breeding farm, doing their thing, making eggs, and then let me show you guys what it looks like when the eggs hatch. I already did all the furnaces at the beginning of the video and the watering at the beginning of the video, so I'll just go straight to the breeding farm right now. I'll save the regular grind of the farm for another time. We're already over 30 minutes here. Hopefully I don't have any right now. Alright, my apologies guys. I was going to hatch some of these large eggs so you guys can see what it looks like to hatch an Eye of Cthulhu, but that's okay. I'll still show you guys what it looks like to disassemble, because I think I do have some large Eyes of Cthulhu to disassemble. Oh man. So now I'm looking for 4 diamond passes to hit on an Alpha Xenolod, which if you were here at the beginning of the video paying attention, you know that already. Man, it's gonna take a little while, and these guys breed a lot slower than a pal with Philanthropist, than 2 pals with Philanthropist, but man, it's definitely gonna be worth it. Oh, there's an Alpha here and a 4 stats here. Come on, guys, we're so close. We're almost there. Almost. 2 more chances at it, huh? Oh, we got another 4-1, but no Alpha. It would have been painful if there's an Alpha here and a 4 here. So let's go to the PAL disassembly machine really quickly and show you guys what I mean. I think I have a couple Eyes of Cthulhu to dismantle. Yep. So let's do a regular one first and see how many hallowed bars we get. Nice. 2 hallowed bars from, okay, took a little while to pick up. 2 hallowed bars from a regular Eye of Cthulhu, and then let's check this out for an Alpha, because we do have 3 Alphas. So I'll do all the Alphas first to see if we can't get a mask, because if I could get a mask on a recording, that would be really nice. But see, 28, so again, it's still really nice to get an Alpha Cthulhu, Eye of Cthulhu, because they still give so many more hallowed bars than just a regular one. So how many? And then yeah, we caught one. So let's see. Oh, Eye of Cthulhu mask. Now, oh my, 2? Dang, 2 of those Alpha pals. Oh. Y'all, the reason I'm at a loss for words right now is because tell me why I seriously had to breed over 500 Eye of Cthulhu's and disassemble like over 100 Alphas before I finally got 1. It took me so long to finally get 1 Eye of Cthulhu mask. How did I just get 3 in one go? That's got to be some absolutely insane RNG. I have to post that. I'm so happy I went to show you guys what it looks like to disassemble a couple Eye of Cthulhu's. Anyways, let me just finish disassembling the regular ones and getting the rest of my hallowed ingots, or hallowed bars, excuse me. I'm in shock. I'm in shock. I genuinely don't know what to say. Man, but I can't get a Moonlord mask for the life of me, you know? That's funny. Also, oh yeah, so I'm just doing the eyes right now. I don't know why I got so fixated upon the, I guess I got so fixated upon the eyes because the Alpha Eye of Cthulhu's give you the mask. These are demon eyes. These are not Eyes of Cthulhu, so very different. I know they look a little bit similar, but if you were to breed a bunch of demon eyes, you will not ever get one that drops the Eye of Cthulhu mask. You specifically have to be breeding Eyes of Cthulhu to get the Cthulhu mask. But they all drop hallowed bars, so whether it's green slimes, whether it's red slimes, whether it's demon eyes, whether it's cave bats, they all drop hallowed bars. And if for anyone who was wondering, didn't know, this is new to them, this is information to them, all of the pals in the Terraria collab drop hallowed bars. So Dazi are obviously regular Palworld pals, so they just drop their regular drops. But anything that's a Palworld pal is going to be dropping hallowed bars. So let's finish disassembling. Oh jeez, I was going to say maybe not because there's so many, but we are. Oh, and the enchanted swords. Those drop hallowed bars as well because they're a pal. They're a Tides of Terraria pal as well. So let's finish disassembling these really quickly, and then before I end the recording, the last thing I wanted to show off was I do have all of the schematics. So I would like to show off all of the schematics that you can possibly get by raiding the Tides of Terraria Dungeon. Why do the slimes come out so flat? That's weird. I don't look that flat when they're in the dungeon. That's quite hilarious, to be honest. Man, this was a very lucrative raid, one could say. I got a lot of hallowed bars from catching them the first time, and then I got a lot of hallowed bars for disassembling them as well. The goal is to get over 1,000 hallowed bars to be able to make 10 celestial sigils at the same time. Surely that's what they're called, right? Yeah, celestial sigils at the same time, so that would be really nice. I'm around 600 right now, but honestly, I would like to build a couple more Moonlord statues. The Moonlord statue is just so freaking cool in my opinion, but he costs 100 Hallowed bars for anyone who is unaware. He's in the schematics. Yep, 100 Hallowed bars, so I can only make 6 statues right now, but man, I do want 6 more, you know what I'm saying? He's just glowing and floating, he's just so cool, you know? The one at the bar is a little bit rude. He kicked me out earlier. I don't know who was there for that. You know, it was a little card issue. I was having some issues. It's my bank's fault, not me. But anyways, this is what I was talking about for anyone who's been watching for the duration of the video. These are all of the schematics you can get in the game. So there's a Terra Prisma, which is a weapon that I guess I haven't even... Oh, I was going to say that I haven't built yet. Yes, I have. I've built the Terra Prisma. And then this is one that you cannot get from... You have to get this from defeating Moonlord. You can't get this in a schematic. So let's go back over. Let's drop off these extra masks, apparently. I guess I never expected to have this many masks. This is insane. And then I have one more in my guild chest, too, that I was going to give to someone else on this multiplayer server. So that's 5 that I've gotten. That's just crazy how you can go, like, hundreds of Eyes of Cthulhu without getting one. And then within the course of, like, 10 Eye of Cthulhu, you get 4. It's crazy. Or 3, excuse me. But let's go back to the schematics. These are all of the schematics that you can get in the game. So let's try to go over them individually. There's a Nightglow schematic, which, again, I'm going to get these wrong pretty often because I don't play Tides of Terraria. So I don't understand the mechanics, what they do in Tides of Terraria. So I can only, you know, give you guys my anecdotal experience. Like, oh, when I used it, it did this. So this is called a Nightglow schematic, and it kind of just seems like a lantern that shoots fire at your enemy. And it kind of seemed like it went through walls, but I wasn't entirely sure. This is a Celestial Sigil schematic, which you have to have in your inventory to be able to build a Celestial Sigil. And this summons Moonlord, which is a raid boss, which is a really, really cool raid boss. And like I was talking about earlier, once you defeat that raid boss, this one, the purple one, apparently not the gold one. If you defeat the purple one, you can get a Moonlord mask, which is a wearable hat, kind of like the Eye of Cthulhu. So I'm still trying to do that. That's why I want to be able to craft 10 Celestial Sigils. So I'm trying to get over 1,000 Hallowed bars. And then if you beat Moonlord in regular, you get gifted a Celestial Sigil Master, which, if you know how raid bosses work, you summon a much, much stronger Moonlord. And then also, if you beat that Moonlord, you also can get a Celestial Sigil Master that way as well. So then you offer that slab to a summoning altar, and you summon the raid boss, and you fight them, and all that nonsense. So that's why I'm trying to get... Oh yeah, I'm trying to get the Moonlord mask, and then I think something that comes from either one of these, if I'm not mistaken, is the legendary Meowmere. I think either one of them dropped a legendary Meowmere, which I think this one is an ancient technology point. So this one you can craft it. It stays in your inventory, I'm pretty sure. Not in your inventory, but like on your workbench. Pretty sure it's, yeah, it's an ancient technology point. So you can't craft it, but it costs pred cores, which suck, versus this one, if you just kill the raid boss on Master, you can potentially get it for free. So I've gotten it twice, luckily, so it says it's only a 10% drop rate, but it seems to drop pretty often, to be honest. So that's what you can get by defeating the raid boss, and some life power and stout fruits, some lotuses as well. But that would be the main point of being the raid boss. And then finally, before I get, when you defeat the Moonlord Master, and specifically on Master, it has to be Master, and then you get the Moonlord Statue Schematic, which, if it's in your base, it allows you to build the Moonlord statue. So that was the main reason I wanted to beat the Moonlord on Master. I was so happy to finally get that schematic. Moving on, this was the headgear I was talking about earlier, which, again, it's just a little appearance. I'll put this one on really quickly because this one's my favorite. But these are all just little hats that are wearable helmets that you can put on your character. And these are all of the schematics in the game, I'm pretty sure. If not, I'll go downstairs and check one more time. But I think this is all of the weapons and all of the armor that you can get. So Celestial Sigil, the plate mail I forgot to go over, Hallowed plate mail schematic, which is what I'm wearing right now. I think it's super drippy. And then the headgear, which I'm not a huge fan of. The Hallowed hood. Oh wait, you don't need the schematic to wear it. I'm so stupid. The Hallowed hood, the Hallowed helmet, the Hallowed mask, and then this was that vortex beater that we're using. So again, the only legendary schematic I've ever found out of the Terraria. This is a Terra Prisma, which is apparently a sword. When you swing it, it creates more swords, and they're homing. So it'll create like 20 swords that stay focused and keep hitting the target. Again, I'm not exactly sure how this works. Or maybe that's the Excalibur sword. I really don't know how these Terraria weapons work. And then lastly, we've got the Terra Blade, which, again, I think when you swing it, fire comes out. It's pretty sick. You swing like fire blades, but it reminds me of the Wind Hashira. I don't know. His name is Shinizagawa, his last name, but I don't know his first name. But I don't like him, but his powers are sick. What's it called? His form? His breathing form is freaking sick. His wind form, so. Let's check out really quickly this. Let's see, yeah, let's check out all the headgear, because I do have them unlocked. So that's pretty sick, but not my favorite. That's okay, but not my favorite. This one's my favorite. I think it's super cool, and this is what the knight looked like in front of the realm of Terraria, in front of that dungeon. And here's the headgear, which, you know, kind of looks a little bit like a crown, but at that point, like, why not go all the way around the head? And then right now I'm rocking this one, which is from the realm of Terraria as well. At first I thought I wasn't going to like it because of this, but luckily that's actually tentacles. And then I'm using the Hallowed plate mail. I like to appear using the Hallowed plate mail. And then really quickly, I was going to say let's go downstairs, but I think, oh no, we do have to go all the way downstairs. Really quickly, let's go downstairs and check the schematics table and make sure. No, hey, okay, alright, I'm leaving. Chill. I was just going to say hi, but he was saying, hey, you're kicked out. Leave until you pay your time. Alright, chill. So let's go over here to the schematics table and see if I missed any of the weapons, if I have not been able to pick up any of the schematics yet. So here they all are. So I showed off the Terra Blade, I believe. I showed off the Nightglow. I showed off the Vortex Beater because I have one. I showed off the Terra Prisma. And I showed off the Excalibur. So that's all of the weapons. And I showed off all of those schematics. Those are all schematics you can get within the realm of Terraria Dungeon. And then down here is all of the armor you can get. Which, funny, I can make some upgrades. Which I only do if I have 6 out of 5. Because then I won't lose the original schematics I have, which is the whole point. I'm not trying to lose any of the stock I have. I've talked a couple times about having one extra to hold its place, so I know what's supposed to be in that chest. But why not condense the ones that I have a little bit extra of to just have higher level helmets, even though I'm never gonna wear them, because in order to repair Tide of Terraria gear, it almost always costs Hallowed bars. So I don't like actually wearing the gear. I wear something else and then present myself as if I'm wearing the gear. But lastly, let's check the armor. But yeah, definitely. I showed off the Hallowed mask. I showed off the Hallowed headgear. I showed off the Hallowed hood, or no, Hallowed helmet, excuse me. And then I showed off the Hallowed hood as well as the plate mail schematic. So that is everything you can get from the Realm of Terraria dungeon. And that is all the rooms. That's like a showcase of what it looks like, where it is, and how to defeat it. I hope I explained everything well. If I forgot anything, please comment down below and let me know. If you have any tips, maybe if I missed any of the chests within that dungeon, anything like that, let me know. But yeah, I think that's the conclusion of this video. I'm super happy to have showcased that dungeon. It's not just because I got kicked out of my own bar by Moonlord. And yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope y'all have a good one. I hope y'all either enjoyed this video or learned something from it. And I hope y'all have a good day. GG's and happy Palworld. I'll catch y'all next time.